The farthest, far-off counterfeit article in the universe, NASA's Explorer-1 test, is supposedly radiating helpful information back to Earth. We can gauge the universe, even assuming we have no thought what it is. The renowned NASA rocket, Explorer-1, which was sent off over a long time back, has presently returned a sign that has stunned mainstream researchers. Explorer-1 has found something so huge that it has changed the way of its mission and is presently heading back towards Earth after going more than 14 billion miles away from it. Come on this vast excursion with us. Explorer-1 made an amazing discovery 7 minutes prior when it made a beeline for Earth. However, what exactly could this discovery be? Might it at some point be an inestimable abnormality, confirmation of alien life, or something significantly more extraordinary? We will uncover these surprising discoveries in this compelling examination as Explorer-1 just made an overwhelming revelation that made it suddenly turn toward Earth. Let's dig into the history of the Explorer twin tests, two of the most astonishing space apparatuses of all time. Sent off might very well never have left Earth if certain grandiose events hadn't agreed. The 4 biggest planets in our planetary group were the stars that adjusted. In this occurrence, these planets were gradually adjusting exactly quite a while back, a peculiarity last found in the mid-19th century under the administration of Thomas Jefferson. At first, this uncommon planetary arrangement was for the most part ignored. In 1965, Gary Flandreau, a PhD understudy in air transportation at the California Establishment of Innovation, was quick to understand its importance at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, during the beginning of room investigation. Flandreau worked part-time and was depended with deciding the most practical way to deal with send-off a space test to Jupiter or considerably farther out to Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune. He painstakingly outlined the orbital directions of these huge planets with an essential pencil and found something astonishing. Each of the 4 of the huge planets would arrange for visits in a single mission in the last part of the 1970s and mid-1980s. Due to this arrangement, a spaceship could slingshot itself to the next planet, eliminating excursion time by taking utilization of every planet's gravitational post. As indicated by Flandreau's estimations, this arrangement would diminish the 30-year trip time from Earth to Neptune to just 12 years. There was an admonition, though. This specific planetary arrangement just happens once every 176 years. To profit by this unique opportunity, a space apparatus would need to be sent off by the center of the 1970s. NASA made 2 shuttles to finish the mission, holding onto this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Explorer-1 and Explorer-2 were sent off on an astounding mission to explore our nearby planet group's external planets. The send-off of the Explorer twin tests on September 5, 1977, was rather astonishing due to the planet's arrangement and Gary Flandreau's forward-thinking estimations. Explorer-1 was sent off into space at Cape Canaveral, Florida, by a strong rocket known as Titan 3E or Centaur on August 20, 1977, only 15 days after Explorer-2 was sent off. Explorer-1 joined the vast venture by following a more limited way as it set out on its excursion into the vast universe. Their principal objective was to explore our nearby planet group's tremendous gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn and every one of their moons. These actually, considering dividing sightseers anyway, surpassed all assumptions. They voyaged farther and longer than some other rocket in history, pushing the envelope of investigation. All through their incredible venture, they smashed various records. They have voyaged farther than anything humanity has made, even into an area of our system that is completely obscure, interstellar space. Explorer-1 and Explorer-2, these spearheading space apparatuses, are presently beyond 12 billion miles from Earth. The astounding revelations they make out there keep on wowing researchers. Notwithstanding their significant stretch, most as of late, they revealed an unforeseen discovery that surprised everybody over quite a while back. The Explorer twin tests achieved some very astounding things. Researchers were shocked by their nearby assessment of Jupiter and Saturn's moons. These moons, which were once thought to be as fruitless and dotted as our own, were rather hive focuses of movement. In 1986, Explorer-2 made history by being the first of the twins to swing past Uranus. 3 years later, it achieved an accomplishment that no past rocket had the option to match. It sped past Neptune. NASA utilized a brilliant strategy to ensure these shuttles stayed working while they proceeded with their astonishing journey. To save energy, they have switched off unnecessary components like radiators and spare parts. The arrangement is to keep up with the shuttle in great working request through no less than 2013. It's a hodgepodge of feelings for the serious researchers and specialists who have been a piece of this unimaginable journey since its starting. Their determination has paid off. For when they accepted the Explorer missions were reaching a conclusion, an incredible finding from profound space was made. Information transmission and disclosure on Explorer 1 4 decades prior at the start of their astonishing journey. The Explorer shuttle paralyzes researchers by giving them the very first up-close views of Jupiter and Saturn's moons. These moons ended up being vivid planets, in opposition to researchers' starting conviction that they were exhausting and widely pitted like our own moon. Only 546 days after send-off in spring 1979, Explorer 1 showed up at Jupiter. That same year in July, Explorer 2, on a marginally different course, showed up. The VidCon cameras on board both shuttle employed filters to deliver full-tone photos. It's intriguing to note that, regardless of turning through space at a speed in excess of multiple times more slow than a clock's hour hand, they were expected to be very steady. This ensured that the pictures they took were crisp and clear. The explorers captured more than 33,000 pictures of Jupiter and its moons during their venture, each one of which revealed new and fascinating information. One of Jupiter's 53 known moons, Europa, for instance, was found to contain an estimated 60 m or more of cracks in its cold covering. A gravitational slingshot gave the spaceship a last speed increase of 35,700 miles per hour as they left the Jupiter framework, a significant move that empowered them to make it into interstellar space. The explorers separated ways as they arrived at Saturn. In the wake of flying by Titan, a moon covered in an orange murkiness and through Saturn's wonderful rings and many effects from minute residue particles, Explorer 1 left the planet's plane and traveled north. In 1986, Explorer 2 finished its own voyage and showed up at Neptune and Uranus. Explorer 2's central goal to Uranus yielded 10 new moon revelations and raised the planet to the situation with a planetary group world with rings. However, misfortune overshadowed the achievements of Explorer 2. The Space Transport Challenger unfortunately detonated soon after takeoff, killing every one of the 7 group individuals, including New Hampshire secondary school instructor Krista McAuliffe, who was booked to turn into the main regular citizen space Voyager. Only 4 days after it made its closest way to deal with Uranus, with twists as fast as 1,000 miles per hour, Explorer 2 encountered the quickest twists of all time recorded on any planet in our solar system. As it took off almost 2,800 miles over the amazing blue methane sky of Neptune, the largest moon of Neptune, Triton, with surface temperatures as low as -235 degrees Celsius, making it perhaps of the coldest places in our vast area. Another astounding discovery was the frozen volcanoes on the moon, which regurgitated nitrogen gas and little particles up to 5 miles into the atmosphere. Following the enamoring visuals of Neptune and its moons captured by Explorer 2, the 2 shuttles should turn off their cameras, thus closing their official missions. However, the imaging colleague for the undertaking, stargazer Carl Schahn, stepped in. NASA had expanded the undertaking in the expectations that the explorers would go beyond interstellar space. Despite the fantastic visit being formally over, the shuttle were renamed the Explorer Interstellar Mission and were planned to proceed with their journey into space in 1990. Schahn persuaded NASA to permit Explorer 1 to capture a last arrangement of pictures on Valentine's Day, later reorienting its cameras to confront the inward planetary group. The space apparatus took 60 last pictures. One of these photos, which Carl Schahn is credited with calling the light blue dab, showed Earth from a staggering 3.8 billion miles away. The picture shows Earth as a little spot scarcely perceptible against the darkness of space, lit by a bit of sunlight bounced off the optics of the camera. It's astounding to perceive how unique and entrancing each planet and moon in our planetary group is, even the uttermost far-off ones. We found out such a huge amount about them. Explorer's excursion past the heliosphere in August 2012. Explorer 1 broke past the heliosphere, an enormous area of charged particles delivered by the Sun, denoting an astounding achievement. The 1 year from now, a research sharing Explorer 1's astonishing discovery was distributed in the diary Science, making this mind-boggling achievement openly known. Areas of strength for a sun-oriented emission was seen by the Space Apparatus Plasma Wave Instrument between April 9 and May 22, 2013. Electrons near Explorer 1 vibrated as a consequence of this occasion, demonstrating that the rocket had entered a region with a higher molecule thickness than that which is available right inside the heliosphere. The way that interstellar space has a higher electron thickness than the Sun-based area might appear to be unforeseen at first. The electron thickness close to the heliosphere line is far lower than it is at the outer layer of Earth, as indicated by scientists. Subsequent to examining the information from Explorer, not set in stone,